In 2022, I asked God why I was still alive. A few weeks later, during my period, I pulled 5 cards. That reading ended my relationship. Blooming doesn't always look like clarity. Sometimes it's subtle, a breath that moves easier, a choice that feels less forced. Blood and Bloom is built on lived testimony, not conclusions. This is where meaning begins to surface on its own. In early 2022, I was at a pretty big standstill with myself, not knowing how to deal with very intense grief from death. Um, I was highly inebriated during this time, and I didn't really know how to trust myself. Let's just be honest. I didn't know how to trust myself. I couldn't trust my own guidance. I couldn't even hear it. I couldn't even hear it. And I remember one night just being over everything and having such dark thoughts again and just tired of trying to talk myself into feeling better or hopeful. Um, and I was actually sober during this time. I hadn't been drinking, you know, for a few months by this time. So from the outside, things looked like I was more stable. I was in a more stable environment, quote unquote, unquote. Um, but I just couldn't talk myself into feeling better because I just couldn't see where my future was heading, really. And I didn't feel any motivation to dream of a life for myself that didn't feel empty and heavy. And I cried myself to sleep, quietly sobbing, trying not to shake the bed to disturb my then boyfriend who was sleeping next to me. And I cried and I cried and I asked God, why? Like, why am I even here? I don't know what love is supposed to feel like because I don't feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Am I crazy to ask for more and not even know what that feels like? Because feeling like anything that seemingly felt like hope felt like why? Like the whole thing was like why? It was such a hole. It was such a hole that I was in. Like it was in my life. Like what was this my life? I just felt very, very lonely and in despair again. So shortly after that moment I experienced a dream and a divinely guided voice that hinted that my life wasn't over yet. And I got the download to do a reading for myself and ask the cards for wisdom during my next period. And that was summer of a few years ago, a couple of years ago, 2020, 2022. And I did my first period reading. And that 5 card spread gave me the confidence to share how I was feeling to my boyfriend. Now, a few months later, that relationship was over, and I was back in my hometown, and I was unsure of my next steps, but I was trusting the path of my divine guidance processes instead of abandoning them. Notice what changed quietly. That's integration. It happens without instruction. The cycle hasn't ended, it's preparing to return. Blooming, 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 blooming.